This is the year of the dragon, so it's the year of like luck and prosperity and abundance. However, with being in the year 8 as a number, we got to move in moderation because those high highs will bring you to low lows. So you want to
Yes,
learn how to be the homeostasis in the middle. So during this peace and time, it's going to be like a lot of temptation to engage in overindulgence, especially during
yes,
this month because we still in Sagittarius kind of shadows on the Vedic and the Draconic. So it's still some temptation there to, feed into your sacral chakra and overindulge as it is being in the year 8 and feeling all the luck of the dragon. But you got to remember moderation is key here because while those doors will open for you to have that greed, it's, be ready for the equal opposite energy that comes from that as well.
I see a lot of abundance happening for a lot of people um that have been down for like years, and it's actually opened the floodgates for a lot of different people. Like, I mean, they have
Hmm.
some mysterious abundance when they hit them in so many ways. A lot of people are actually finna be blessed. But I feel like a lot of people actually need to remove a lot of different things around them to allow that energy to flow through the house, and actually flow through them as well. Because the channeling energy that came in from the Kali Yugi cycle, um, I see a lot of that energy for the universal purpose when we had that alignment on January the 15th, where the planet was in the system, the Milky Way, where actually we was in the center of the universe, and that opens up a lot of portals, and that actually opened up a lot of consciousness to come online to expand and actually deliver a lot of different things to them to bridge out and bring in a lot of true stuff that they've been missing. This mysterious no, I want to say blessings and a lot of blissful things going to happen, in that's going to open the doorway for a lot of different things. I see love open up for a lot of people too as well.
Hmm.
What else you see down the line for people that's going to be in this energy alignment, but it's also a destruction of energy that came into as well.
Hmm.
Um, that I seen as well, because the that cycle supposed to um actually like bring in that energy of destruction to get rid of all that unwanted energy to bring in the that better energy.
Hmm. Getting rid of excessive things, destructive. 8 is associated with Scorpius energy and Pluto, so it's a rise of the occultism type energy. So all those that have been forming occults and things like that, this will be like the spotlight, and we got to experience a bit of that. If you look in hindsight on your experiences you may have had on Saturday when Pluto was conjunct the sun, which is going to happen, every year now around this time of year, with Pluto being in Aquarius moving forward. So during this period of time is where the spotlight happens on different secrets, business moves. So that's where you see like a lot of abundance coming. Also in spousal abundance too is also associated with Scorpio. Scorpio is the rise and fall of empires. And empires, it was always a king and a queen, right? So in those spaces with having those kind of interconnectivities between the masculine and feminine energy, it's a lot of abundant energy coming out of that. And you'll feel that especially like this month too, because we in a month of one, which is Aries, Ogun energy. That's the feminine side of the solar plexus chakra. We get into the gut, the fire in the gut that controls the mind. And then the year 8, which is Pluto, that's the masculine side, that's the water, that's the manipulation and the transformations and rebirth and things, the actual like physical, external self of the solar plexus. So whatever days that we're going through in between, like today was the day of the 22nd. Today was the day to be a master architect of your solar plexus chakra. You know, build the foundation stone because that 22 comes together and makes 4. During this day was also the day to, really take on your ambitions and not move in fear with them, which is a part of being a 22 architect number and things of that nature. When you get into the old calendar, when a week was 10 days, we're in the second week of the month. With the two and the tens place, we're always dealing with balance and harmony. So this week is all about balance and harmony on whatever number. Tomorrow's gonna be balance and harmony on threes, which is emotion and intuition. Then balance on the fours, which is your determined, focused self. Balance on the fives, which is your adventurous self, so forth and so on. It's a pattern every week, pretty much with the ones and twos. And you might get a couple of 30s. Um, but that's once you get into the pattern of the numbers and what the month is in relation to the eight, you'll know that every month this year is going to be a challenge or some type of experience towards your solar plexus chakra, which really deals with you enforcing everything you learned last year. All of us pull majority of us did went through an informational transmit transformation in our lives. We started studying ourselves, studying the physical and non-physical realms, studying law, whatever it was we're studying. And this year, we're really being called to enforce what we know. Like, okay, that's the walk you really wanted. That's the stuff you was really trying to manifest. Now this year, we're going to see if that's really what you want. How strong are you within it? How are you willing to enforce your boundaries and your discipline in different realms where people are pushing back on you even harder than normal? Because remember, Pluto is also um very dramatic and extreme. So it's not roses and butterflies. We're talking about Oya here. That was the goddess of storms. She was so extra. She killed herself when her husband went missing. You know.
Hmm.
Um. This is the level of enforcement that's happening, and this is the level that you're going to be called to enforce on the things that you said you wanted.
Yeah, reinforcement of lineup, energy.
Mhm.
That energy is like it's very movement. Because it's going to move a lot of obstacles out your way to clear the path. Like you said, the Ogun, he clears the path, and
Mhm.
Oye, which is the storm, all weather, actually blowing your life into a new life. That's what I
Mhm.
was getting at her energy. Like it's actually bringing in transformation, um, bringing in new ideas and new prosperity, what I'm saying, make your expansion of your memory, and also that energy that you've been missing for like a long time. And a lot
Right.
of people that have been on the bottom for so long is gonna be the ones on top. The ones that forgot about people that's been down on their luck. People that's been um living like paycheck to paycheck. This is for all the people that have been missing out on a true work of their blessings. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So what you
I
got to say
agree.
about like far as like the like the business side of people, and what is like the benefits of like people that's been like um don't know their life in a change, but this new prosperity energy coming in as well. Because I could see it a lot because we already in the month in January, and
Mhm.
January is like the startup kit for everything.
Yeah. It's a trust exercise for real, for real. Um, you gotta trust that last year when we were in the year seven, you were putting in that work. You planted all those mental seeds during the solstice, during Lilith season of December, during
Offerings.
harvest moon. Yeah, you did
Mhm.
everything. You did the books, you did the studying, the channeling, the offerings, the altars. You did the service. People was out here giving out readings and helping other people read their charts and numbers. That's service. You know, whether it was an energy exchange with debt notes or whatever, it still was a service. You were servicing your community so that they too can get the spiritual knowledge that you were accumulating. All of that is coming back to you. And you got to trust that it is. And you got to trust that all the little things you kept overlooking from the post that you posted, you don't know who was watching that post. You don't know how many lives you touched, but guess what? The universe saw how many lives you touched, and the universe counted how many lives they touched because you touched their life, and so on and so forth. And all of that is coming back tenfold because that's how the figure eight moves. So that's where you're seeing a lot of people who have been, overlooked a lot finally getting seen because All that overlooking, it wasn't you being overlooked. You had to put in that work. You had to plant those seeds. You had to learn what you had to learn. You had to do the service. You had to do all of those things. So now you're going to get your return. And for those that have been moving righteously and continue to move righteously, it's going to work in your favor because uh, especially when we get into Scorpio season. When we get into Scorpio season, so we're going to have a period of time, of course, where Pluto goes in retrograde and it'll be back in Capricorn. Of course, we're experiencing the presidential election and all the different things they're going to do in alignment with it. Capricorn rules authority and infrastructure. So you've seen a lot of transformations happen in that. Pluto had been in Capricorn since 2008. That's when Obama ran for office. That was the initial Pluto Pluto went hard in 2008 for us when all of that happened. That was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
For real, they just didn't know it. They was in their hubris. So when Pluto goes back in Aquarius, it's gonna be in November. That's when the election happened. So we're gonna get another bang of Pluto entering Aquarius and now staying in Aquarius moving forward. And the last time we experienced this was the Revolutionary War. You keep going back 250 years before that. That was in 19 no, that was in 1750s. You know, if you keep going back before that, you'll go back to the 1400s when the Spaniards started overthrowing the Moors. If you go back, even more, you'll go to the rise of the Moors. You go back, there was a volcano that erupted over in Europe that made it the sky go out for years. There was no sun for years, and a lot of animals that we used to have back then, different lives and things. I think that's where the Irish story with the potatoes came from because they didn't have no sunlight or nothing over there because of that volcano. But every time you go back 250 years, you'll see a rise and fall of empires, of governments, freedoms being signed into play, et cetera, et cetera. That's all Pluto and Aquarius on the tropical and Capricorn still on the Vedic. So that means even though our thoughts and our mindset is on this transformation, on the social justice and awareness, our Vedic chart, which is our vibrations, what's actually happening in our vortex, is transformations in the infrastructure and the authority. So this whole time we've been thinking about, oh, we want the changes in the infrastructure and authority. Now it's happening with how we treat each other, which is what people in certain circles have been saying from the get. This not going to change till we start treating each other different because we still not understanding where the root of the issue is because we still looking at each other like, oh, you just such and such. And we're not looking at each other like kings and queens and gods and goddesses yet. We
It's
still
a program.
ridiculing each yeah, we still ridiculing each
Yeah.
other. We're still objectifying each other. We're still humanizing each other. That's beast. You don't want to be a human either, bro. So now that we're starting to have that new found awareness and the purpose behind the awareness and how that's unlocking a lot of keys to us getting things done as a collective, that's the Pluto and Aquarius for real, for real. And it's not always gonna feel good, especially if you still around certain people that still under certain programs, not just on an interpersonal level, but in a community level. A lot of people's greed is increasing in your community. And for those of you guys that are in certain spaces, you might have to get out, because it's just going to get worse in those areas, especially with all the influx of different individuals being put there and stuff like that. But again, that's also a part of the program. You said that you want to live a certain kind of lifestyle with certain kind of people. And if you look outside your door, you don't see those kind of people. You don't see the current certain kind of life. Guess what Pluto gonna do for you? Pluto gonna put you in a position where you ain't got no choice because you playing. If you're not gonna do it on your own, Pluto gonna push you. So you gotta ask yourself, do what I want. Do I want to wait for the storm to come my way, or do I want to get ahead of the storm?
Yeah. I can feel that. Hmm. But a lot of people getting distracted with these distractions,
Oh yeah.
and they everybody going this way and this way. Um, I truly believe it's to keep their mind from focusing on themselves at time because you got to find a way to like um soak up a lot of that energy, that transformation energy, because you got to apply that to your life. And when you apply that to your life, that's how you get your deliverance from your different structures or energies that's gonna bless your life and lead it to another way. Because you got to think about it, it's like a harmony energy. And once you receive these energies, it changes your whole DNA to receive and get. and prosper. You know what I mean? And a lot of people forgetting that you know, like you were saying, we're the gods and goddess of the Most High, and
Mhm.
we're entitled to be the creator. We should be laid back at all times, and we create things from our mind, and we are,
Mhm.
you know, we are one. Um, that's why when we are this group of people and we get together and we think, all these minds come together to produce a beautiful thing and beautiful, um, you know, retrospect of different. I want to say like we create things from the mind to open up new thoughts. You know what I'm saying? New ideas and new uh programs to our people, so we can just keep on shifting the frequency up. You know what I mean? So when we live in that love and unity and we come together, it'll be a beautiful thing together when we build. You know what I'm saying? Because we are builders of life, and the building blocks of life. We always come together and build for, you know, a better future, and we need that for our children, and we need that
Mhm.
for us as well. But we got to get out of that negative like bulls. You know what I mean? If we get out of that negative spell and get away from all these programs and these toxic ass people that be around us, we can just deliver and be and have a better life and understanding. And a lot of people need to understand. I know times is hard, and you know, people go through things in life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're going through in life, it can't be no worse than what you make it, because you
Right.
have to understand, we create pathways through our mind. So when we create pathways through our mind, we can open up doors. But this the thing we fail to understand, is that once we have a program put in place to bring the negative and try to toxify your brain, it lowers your standards of to be a non-believer. And when you become a non-believer, it's hard for you to like wake up out of it, because you're gonna need another alarm clock to help you get out of that sleep.
Right.
And that's where we come in at, because we help waking up the collective. And once the collective wake up, um, they can go forward and help somebody else and help somebody else. It's almost like tag, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what we've
But
been doing all last year with all these YouTube pages and interviews and communicating. It was bigger than us exchanging thoughts. People was watching.
change
People was
exchanging
sharing.
thoughts. Yep.
Yeah, people was telling other people. People wasn't even don't even know our YouTube page exists, but they heard our voice in their sleep. They heard our voice when they were driving and just had a random ass thought. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like stuff like that is happening because, we doing what we supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And all last year may not have seemed rewarding because you're watching all these other people like getting this and that and this and that, and it's just like, yeah, because in the year 7, that's where their square is. They
Yeah.
already did what we are doing. So in the year 7, this was their time to do that. Now that we done did it, now this is the return. Now it's time for enforcement. And enforcement takes a lot of, confidence and courageousness that we had to gain fucking up last year.
Yeah.
Learning stuff, erasing the board and finding a different direction and stuff like that. So, you know, um, like you said, like, all that energy is just coming back, being mindful of all the seeds you plant. I tell people to keep a journal or whatever. Pay attention to where the stars are at when you write your journal in alignment with your, not just your natal chart, but your progressive chart too. That matters also. So, see where your planets are now in relation to where they were when you're born on your tropical, which is your thoughts, your Vedic, which is your vortex, and your draconic, which is your soul's, frequency. You know, align those with the natal and the transit and the current, and see how these are, what kind of experiences you're having on these different levels. This is also how you learn how to alchemize your own energy and have awareness over how your energy interacts with others. So when you see certain people, I mean, it might teach you how to be more calculating, but with discernment. Don't calculate everybody and everything all the time. but like it gives you an idea of, the different kind of energy exchanges you can have with certain kind of people. Like, okay, I got fire over here and this over here and that over there, and this is what you have. So let's see, how these puzzle pieces fit and what we can make from out of this. I always do like, chemical equations in my head when I see people's like charts and elements and how they're using theirs versus how I'm using mine with the transit chart or whatever. Um, and you'll find yourself starting to do that innately as you start meeting people that you want to create a community with, because that's what's going to come of this when we go into the year of 9. This is all preparing you guys for your retribution next year. And 9 is also the number associated with Sagittarius, which, after this hardship of the solar plexus chakra on 8, we come into the Sagittarius house on 9, where now you get to, smell your flowers and enjoy and put your feet up a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what? And the three threes to represent the nines. The three threes to represent the nine, and also those threes is his transformation as well.
Hmm. They are. It's gonna be a heavy spiritual realm. The portal between this year and next year, probably most likely the next 3 years is gonna be very open. So it's gonna be a lot of people going to the other side, and you gotta understand it's a war being fought over there too. So we had a lot of major spiritual leaders this past year go over to the other side, and they made sure they visited the people they had to visit before they left out to let them know what was what and what's going on. So, everybody got their place, you know, and you're gonna see more of that, especially in November, when we hit Scorpio season and when we hit back Aquarius. You see how we started this New Year's, Virgo energy has been on the forefront. If you look at what's happening, Hollywood, they
Cat
emulate what's
Williams
going on
started
in the
it off.
stars.
He
Yeah,
did the
he's a
spiritual
Virgo.
kickoff.
He's an
Yeah,
11 life path Virgo, kicking
yeah.
it off.
He kicked it off. That's the spiritual kickoff with the Virgo.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep.
And that was how the year ended too, with different Virgos. Was it Jada with her tell-all book, Kiki Palmer with her shit. Um, Dang, it's another comedian I did not know was a Virgo too, but just these different Virgos doing different shit. And so, when we get into the month of 9, that's going to be, this is already pre-telling you guys, Pete, watch out Virgo season, because this stuff is going to come back and you're going to see. And that's under what, the harvest moon, the autumn equinox. A lot of this stuff is going to come back. And then also paying attention to that period of time, because that's also when we experience the Mercury retrograde. That's also when we experience the end in the middle of a few of our outer planetary retrogrades around that season. And then we'll be walking Pluto back into Aquarius. So that they already telling you ahead of time in January, Virgo season, watch out. A lot of Pluto shit is gonna be happening. So we got the pre-warning. Write it down.
There's a lot of stuff going on in celebrity land. But yeah,
Yeah, and they
Cat Williams
represent the
did start it off.
stars.
Hmm.
We have, when you look at them and you know their planetary placements and their numbers and stuff like that, they're literally representing what's going on above us and what's the common stuff. So when we pay attention to them, pay attention to them like you would astrology.
So
Don't
above,
don't
so below.
internalize their shit. Just say, oh, what does this symbolize? Because that's all it is symbolism. They just symbols.
So by the kickoff had started off with Cat Williams. A lot of stuff that's taking place in Hollywood. And
Mhm.
with the TD Jakes, P Diddy,
Yeah.
the coming out,
And
the
you know
coming
what's
out.
crazy?
Yeah,
People forget how this started. This all started because of the They Clone Tyrone movie.
the
When
Tyrone move.
yeah,
Yeah,
remember when
with
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx got
Foxx.
sick
Yes,
and then
yeah,
it started, that was the kickoff to all of this.
yeah. And another
So
thing,
let's
that wasn't even Jamie Foxx playing that movie. That was actually his double playing that whole movie because
Oh,
he was sick at
really?
the time. Yeah, that was his
That's
double.
interesting.
Yeah, he
Well,
actually
when you
got a
pay
double.
attention to the movie, what was they telling us in the movie? Because that's what we got to go back to pay attention to what's going forward, what we really watching on these
Hmm.
screens.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that's actually symbolizing this statues of, what I'm saying, what's happening in Hollywood. You know what I mean? As far as like people privacy is cloned off and is represented by certain people. And
Mhm.
also them geometric numbers is actually adding up to like symbolizing what the situation is. I mean, I don't have the geometry um calculator right now. I need to download one. Then I can actually look into the charts and actually see the numbers of, the path and what's going on with that person. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
also with TD Jakes, I find kind of very I'm gonna say like he's hiding behind words. And I seen something on TikTok, and a lot of people say that his is a lot of people leaving his church because of these accusations and stuff like that, these stuff that's actually coming towards him. But we got to
Yeah.
remember, there was more than just him as a pastor. The other pastors too were actually being nailed to the cross as well. Okay, because
Mhm.
a long time ago it was Eddie Long. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Long was like, he came out, you remember, and he ended up stepping down from
Mhm.
his church, Eddie Long.
Yep. I
Then,
remember that.
in Jacksonville was a church, a pastor that was here like a while back. I remember that one too. He was a pedophile,
Hmm.
and that was going on in that church. It rocks the whole I want to say the news line for Jacksonville at that time. I remember it was one of the churches off of I want to say Kings Road. It's like it's a Baptist church. It's one of the biggest Baptist churches that was in Jacksonville, next to the
Okay.
one that was downtown. Um, there's also not just him, but it's other shady, pastors just like Osteen's. He remember he was like hiding money in the walls and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. But to see the thing about it, and when you see um pastors of LA, and it was just showing how they was living.
Mhm.
It was riding private jets, Rolls Royce, and what I'm saying, all type of cars that was like millionaire cars. They was living like like a person that would live like a celebrity,
Cause
and
they
they
learned
living
all the stuff. You see all the stuff that these so-called Moorish leaders is creating that they making bank off.
like. Mhm.
That's what the pastors did. They just repeating what the pastors did and putting the more science flag on it. They from false prophets too. That's why I be warning people. Like, they got this whole. First of all, money don't exist. So to use money as an excuse, woo wop. This is again what I'm talking about. We be complaining about our oppressor, but we quick to oppress one another from from statutes that some person you never met before behind a screen gave you. Like, are these people even still alive? Like, what are we doing? Like, if you really sit back and think about it, what are we doing? But anyway, so these more science leaders, they're doing the same thing. The church is set up the same. The church is set up like a trust, just like the temple is set up like a trust. They take all of you guys, everybody. They when they come into church, they sign their names on the book. When they submit the offering, they sign the information on the offering. All that stuff is recorded.
Exchanging energy.
Yes, all that stuff is recorded. So they putting all of that into the trust and they letting that build. And that's where they get their money from, the trust. They not teaching y'all that that's what they doing because it doesn't benefit them to teach y'all. Just same way that these Moorish science people that say, yeah, give me your birth certificate information, your social security, I'll do it for you. And they just print out this fake ass affidavit they pulled out their ass that they made on Microsoft Word that you could do yourself and charge you a whole bunch of money for it. And you just gave this man all your information. That's why a lot of these so-called leaders this year and next year, and then nine is also the year of retribution. This year and next year, you're gonna see a lot of them go to jail because it's gonna come out that a lot of them open up trust on y'all shit, convincing y'all that y'all was
All
not
of the
y'all
church.
a
Yeah.
part of something and stuff like. And you are a part of something. You a part of they trust. They got you,
Yeah,
and
to
you out
follow
here
up.
wondering why you can't open up your own trust.
And and another thing, in a spiritual aspect, the people that represents the energy, which is us, because when these churches build these like they're building a space to take your energy more like vampires would. They use
Mm-hmm.
and recycle your energy and use it for the benefit of, you know, the church. They're using it
Right.
for themselves and
Right.
greed. They're using it for themselves and greed. But as a you know, as we putting we putting our energy in and our time into these churches, we not really using our energy like we should, but they're gonna use it for you on your behalf. That's what it goes back to, you writing down your name as a form of an alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like I'm finna give you permission to use my energy for the benefit of this church. I'm finna, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because it's more like everything is ritual, everything is
Mm-hmm.
spellbound. Because you know, you're giving them keys to your own energy, keys to your own kingdom, which is inside of you, because you are the altar. You represent the altar. So you manifest whatever for that church. You know what I mean? So that's what the energy comes from, because with the energy of the melanate person, which is that gold standard energy that I'm giving you instructions, you know what I'm saying, to use my energy for that. You know what I mean? And they building off of that.
I agree. I agree. And they play on what humans naturally yearn for. We yearn to be of service. We want to help our we yearn to be of service to a
Yeah,
community. We want community, we want fellowship, we want connectivity. We need it. It's a part
yeah,
of a state, it's a part of our development, it's a part of it's a part of our awareness, is where we get the majority of our intellect from. It's from connectivity, connections, whether they're physical or non-physical. They could be ethereal connections. It's still something we yearn for. And so you have all these entities around us that know that, in physical form, corporations. They know that we desire to be of service, we desire fellowship and belongingness. And so what do? They market their shit like it's providing those things for us. And so you just go with what calls to your energy the most. If you get your fellowship from church, that's where you get it. If you get your fellowship and connectivity from giving all your money at the club and at the bar, that's where you get it. If this is, wherever your energy goes, that's where it goes. But essentially, that's all we're longing for. It's just like, where are we getting it from? And
yeah,
like you said, these folks, they know that they harvest on their energy. They're very much aware of our celestial seasons, as well as our actual temperamental seasons, and how that affects us electromagnetically, and they know how to play on that. And that's
yeah,
why they
yeah,
never gave us an opportunity to learn ourselves. It was always like straight to school. Now you in preschool at 2. You're already being ripped from your mother's aura before you can understand what you're experiencing, and then you never get time to learn about your own aura or your own energy centers or whatever. You just get taught to suppress, 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 because I gotta be quiet and I gotta read and write, and I use the bathroom already in this class, so I can't use the bathroom here again, and I can't do this, and I can't have this nervous tick where I'm tapping my pencil because it's bothering people, and I can't chew on this, and I can't speak when I want to speak. I can't always have the answers. I can't always volunteer, but I can't always not volunteer. Like, they taught us to suppress ourselves, everyone individualistically. Whatever your ailment, whatever your thing is about you that makes you unique, whatever you bring to the table, they cut that shit off. And now they think it's a joy. Like, oh, Obama lowered the age of preschool or free education at 3 years old. That's not nothing to clap about, bro. They just found a way to clip our kids' wings at a younger age.
yeah. They really not teaching anything in church. They're only teaching
Absolutely
you to
not.
be. It really, when people go to church, they have to understand they are teaching you to step take away. They actually teaching you to not tap into yourself. They teaching you to follow the guidelines of
Mhm.
a religion person, a religion purpose to is, slave your mentality, lower yourself, as in like worship outside yourself. You know what I mean? Kind of like worship the whatever god or entity that's over that. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of different beings that's actually through different churches, and they not telling you this, but these different beings that they teaching you to be outside yourself instead of, saying, gain control of your own self and go within yourself and understand your own self, yourself, that you are God. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
Yep.
teaching you. I mean, man, and not only that, the schools is kind of like taking away the kids creator side of themselves. You know what I mean? Kind of like them removing things outside of themselves, and they bringing
Yeah.
in things to bring in the agenda. Like they bringing in these books that has transformation that represent gay and pedophile, and
Mm-hmm.
these books is actually teaching kids it's okay to be with a man, it's okay to be with a woman. Then on top of that, I know everybody's seen the videos. They have the LGBT like coming to the schools,
Yeah, reading the books and
reading the
stuff.
books, reading them books. We having book day,
Yeah.
and they having a
I
full man dressed up as a woman coming to read a book to these children.
and it's always a sexualized book. It's never a normal fucking book. It's never Dr. Seuss. Like it's never nothing normal. It's always some nut shit.
It is, and do anybody find this to be weird?
It's
You know what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
big
I mean, it's
agenda.
everybody.
It's a
It just
multifaceted one too.
it's crazy.
Um,
It's
it is
crazy.
crazy because you have the one facet where you could talk about depopulation, but then you have another facet where when you get into
I'm gonna tell you something else too when you get done. Go ahead.
speaking on your nationality, you have to be a man or a woman of God.
Hmm.
You can't be they or all these other things in order, and when we speak on like the first trust that's in the Bible, like these are the abracadabras that, everybody's talking about when they talk about get your nationality in order and stuff like that. This is all biblical. This is because this is what this so-called corporate polit politic company, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, they all in the D&B book. This is what they founded themselves on. So this is their actual law book. So if you're gonna use the original trust, see what they did was they created a trust that like when you were born a dead entity. They said you was out to sea. And so when you say you're living, breathing and stuff, you gotta say like you're a person of God, right? And you can't be a person of God in those circles. And they know that. So what do? They get your kids, they adopting kids. They go into school and reading books to kids. They're influencing kids at a young age to stop calling themselves certain things or start to accept the idea of not being a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, titles you have to use in this corporate government. These is the legalese they're playing with. Same way they got people to call themselves black and African American and all these other titles that pull you further and further and further from the original trust. So now
Yeah,
you got all these contracts you don't even understand that you in, that they done got you wrapped up in. What do they say? Not having knowledge of the law don't make you exempt from it. And there's a difference from law and legalities. They move in legalities. The shit they do is not lawful. But if you don't know about natural law and all that stuff, because you too busy trying to be in social media, I'm black and I'm they or whatever, you're gonna be fucked up.
I'm still reading on that.
It's a lot, but it's a spiritual game. It really
Hmm.
is a spiritual game. They playing on our spirit, they playing on magic. And once you
Hmm.
start reading it with the eyes of this is a spiritual war and we are on the side of the righteous and this is what they doing, it make the words look so different and they're so much easier to read when you start to look at it that way. And now you really see why you have to say certain words the way you have to say them and things like that. And now in this year of 8, it's just about learning how to move with your solar plexus with it because we will be tested. And it ain't about getting rah rah and irate and shit because that's not moving like a man of God or a woman of God neither. We trust the netters to do whatever the fuck it need to do. We don't gotta be nobody karma. And if we let spirit do it, spirit get to look back even worse.
Yeah, yeah. I told him, I know, everybody ain't perfect, but we can, as long as you bring in righteousness and you talking about the truth, it's going
Hmm.
to hit different. It's going to hit different
Every
because,
time.
everybody not, genius born into a reality of enslavement, because
Mhm.
the programs separate us for a long time. They took us away from my true essence. They actually taking us, controlling us, turning us into like uh a working class of humans to
Mhm.
gain energy from that and transfer that cycle and use it over and over again. They were like recycling the energy of like
They
you
started
know
separating us
from,
when they got into industrialization, and people's children was leaving agriculture to go run to the warehouses for money.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you something else that hit me different. My son came home with a video slip saying about the movie what was that what Frozen.
Okay.
Okay, Frozen is actually where the two girls is actually lovers. But see, what they did
Mhm.
was they made it like they was friends, but it was not. The girl actually is like love the other girl, and then, they have a little part in there. They actually kissing. You feel me?
Okay.
And the teacher's like, we want to know it's okay for young patient, blah blah blah, to see this movie. I'm like, what the world? And the mama said, his mom like, yeah, I already seen the movie. you know, what I mean? The lady
I
just
don't
turned
even think
red in the
about
face.
it.
We already know about the movie. We know what y'all doing.
But they should be. I mean, there's so many other options though. Why are we watching this one?
yeah.
Why does it have to be this one? There's so many
Mhm.
other things that our children can watch while they're at school.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we now stepping into like we know what y'all doing now. It's
Mhm.
y'all can never trick us again because you're doing it
Yeah.
through like cartoons. You're doing it through commercials that dealing with foods, and you know what I'm saying. And you got relationship commercials come on. Then you got a Trojan commercial come on. Man,
And
they
it's
got
all
so
in
much
between
stuff.
our kids'
Beer,
commercials. I remember when
beer
as a
commercials,
kid,
diaper
we didn't have
commercials,
certain
everything.
commercials on our channels.
Yeah.
They get all the commercials now, especially with the internet apps. They don't really censor the commercials too much in between the joint. You get what you
Nope, nope,
get.
nope, nope. Especially this, when it's time for the restaurant commercials come on. We want you to
Right.
try the 99-cent human burger.
Right. They normalizing all this
Yeah,
stuff to our
they did.
children to where like,
Hmm.
you the adult, you the weird one for,
Yeah,
pushing back and saying, no, we're not doing this, we're not doing. You notice that when you move righteous, everybody fall away or they challenge you.
yep.
It ain't too much, it ain't gonna be too many people on your team that's gonna be like, oh, you know what? Da, da, da.
And your
Not until
circle
you
always,
start moving towards those people.
and your
Yeah.
circle it shrinks. Like you
It
have a
shrinks
circle like this, and it starts
tremendously.
shrinking, start shrinking down to a minimum
Cause
because
that
that's
righteousness is
around your
the
circle. They start
abracadabra.
disappearing. Yeah, they start
Yeah.
disappearing. Abracadabra. They start disappearing.
And that's the same way it moved for the law. So as soon as you start moving righteously, all that law shit don't apply to you. That shit fall
Hmm.
to the waistline. That shit never comes your way because you're
Yep.
not doing nothing crazy. And
Yep.
when things do try to come at you on enforcement, you know how to conduct yourself. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hmm.
Like, you don't have to be a law student to know how to conduct yourself as a living, breathing, God ordained person. They can't
Yeah.
deal with you in that state. They can only deal with you if you acting like an irate black man or a black woman. They can only deal with you if you acting like a they or a citizen or uh what the fuck. Anything under their jurisdiction,
It's a lot of
you know.
corruption in that the law, because it's like it's trigger happy. They have some trigger happy
Oh yeah.
uh racist cops that's eager to shoot a melanated person. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They fear us because they know what we are. You know what I'm saying? That what triggers them. They like, you know what I mean? I feel that they know about us. You know what I'm saying? And what makes them really racist about that, because they already know our history. They know what we about. They know what we stand for. And the more it irritates them and gets under their skin, they wants to feel like they have the power to, like, let me just go ahead and end him now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I just need somebody that you know what I'm saying, to shoot the day. You feel me? Because most people feel terrified when them lights come on behind them, because you never know what the hell is going to happen.
And
Because
that's
if you're
why
in
they
that
use the colors
situation,
they use.
yeah, you in that
Red is
situation,
the Capricorn, blue is invocation.
yeah, you got to understand how to deal with it, because they're using the blue and red lights represent a certain type of energy as well, because them blue or red, they represent emotions. So you know,
Mhm.
when you see them lights flick on, you just feel like, oh damn, I done did something bad. I don't know why he pulling me over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
they
at the
telling you
same
right then and there, you gonna take the red or blue pill. Are you under our jurisdiction or not? It's saying right there in their light, so you make a decision.
time, you do not consent.
I do not consent.
Yeah. And you be like, sir, can I see such and such? I do not consent. Let me talk to your such and such. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Is a deputy on, you know what I mean? And and that's the thing about the law. You know what I'm saying? That if you get one, there's always 10 more gonna be behind you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It applies. I see it in every hood, every state. If when one person get pulled over by one person, he calling back up already, and he gonna have two more behind. They trying to find something they can just kill that jurisdiction on you, so they can have some kind of employment, so they can break your consent, so they can take whatever and apply that to that, so they can get you. You know what I mean? Oh,
Agreed.
we got them now. We go ahead and just we just go ahead and just deal with them our way. You know what I mean? The corporate way. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
applies that way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't really know the rules like that. You know what I'm saying? The rules of the road, and they start, they'll start like fearing, going to fear mode and ready to run, and get the fidgety and stuff. You give them every right to actually apply on you. You know what I'm saying? Your jurisdiction. You're trying to kill all that.
Yeah. You know what you gotta be careful of? You gotta be careful of the license plate. So when you register your car, that's when you put your car under their jurisdiction. That's what gives them the right to even be able to scan your plate and do all that stuff like that because you registered your car. When you register yourself to vote, you give yourself jurisdiction over it. That's why in 2008, when everybody was turning 18, yeah, they had that voter die shit. They was getting all them 18-year-olds that year, getting all that, they got
Yeah,
regain jurisdiction over anybody they might have lost jurisdiction over because everybody wanted to vote for Obama, right? They got all the black kids that they got all the black people that year.
yep,
Um, all that stuff is under their jurisdiction. When you get a car, you don't have to, lawfully speaking, you don't have to get your car registered. You have the right to travel. A driver's license, if you are a citizen, if you know the citizens just have privileges. Uh, Someone who is, a national being, they have rights. That's why they tell you, oh, this is a privilege. They always telling you what privileges you got. No, we don't do privileges. You don't need privileges. So you don't have to register your car. When you get pulled over, you say, I have the right to travel, not, where you're driving. And when they ask you, they always ask you where you going or where you coming from. You got to be mindful how you state where you were going or coming from if you're going to state anything at all. I personally say don't say anything at all. You could transmute that conversation, here go the information, or can I speak to such and such, or whatever, what have you. But once you say, oh, I was coming from this place or that place, and it's within their state of, county of, city of jurisdiction, then they're going to, that's giving them another, green light to keep going with their stuff.
yo. Speaking of, like, you know, different situations like that, there's so much going on. As far as like law wise, I mean, people really need to just hold on and understand how the law works, because I know it's dangerous. It's dangerous times and dangerous waters. And you know what I'm saying? You want to come
Hmm.
home safe. Everybody want to come home safe. I mean, you just got to understand, like, this what it is. That you fighting a spiritual battle at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand how to govern yourself accordingly. You know what I mean? Because these people just trying to really trap you with words. They're using trickology, trickology on you. You know what I'm saying? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They just trying to get you to consent to the bullshit. That's all they trying to do. And if they can get you to do that, then they got you. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And that's all they trying to do. And just like you said, it's just tricks. They trying to trick you into
Trickology
flipping up your
101.
language because they know the power of invocation. And that's, that's why they also give you the energy they give you, and then they try to turn around and tell you to calm down. They do things to get they're big on energy invocation. You pay attention to like their uniform. They wear blue. Like, this is the energy of the throat chakra. Throat chakra is a
Yep.
leg ba. That is invocation energy. So,
Hmm.
they got the red or blue. Red is Capricorn, that's the root chakra. Blue is the throat chakra. Still coming back to a legba, invocation, the crossroads. There's a decision to be made here, stuff like that. You pay attention to the little things about them, the star that they got on them. It's a fraternity. These fraternities came over here with the goals of having people depend on them and rely on them for certain things. And they also had the knowledge of like the trust and stuff like that. So they're like higher trust enforcers and stuff like that. They create new trust, within the courts and stuff. That's really their goal, is to help the courts make more money. Courts can't make more money if they don't got y'all in there.
Yeah.
So if you know what their intentions are and what their goal is, then you know how to move you accordingly. Y'all don't have no rights to charge me nothing. Y'all don't have no rights to summons me nowhere. Y'all don't have no rights to do nothing y'all doing. It'll help you communicate better because now it's like reading a book, Art of War. You gotta know the enemy and what their moves are and what their motive is and who they work for. A lot of y'all don't even know who these cops work for real, for real. Y'all just say they cops. Okay, what business do they work for? Because these are all corporations. You can find your state. The state of Florida is in the DMB book. They have an EIN number. That's a company. United States of America is in the DMB. You can look all this shit up. I just did it today. The state of New Jersey and shit, because I got a court date coming up, and they don't have jurisdiction to summons me in that room. And so, how a corporation summoning me? Like, I'm a whole goddess. I don't get summoned by corporations. You know what I mean? You gotta have that mindset.
Yeah.
And if you got that mindset, they can't talk circles around you. I know who the fuck I am, bro. I've been me all 365.
Hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
You just muted yourself.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on like what's going on with Miami? Everybody talking about Miami, Miami, Miami.
Yo, I seen some
Yo.
Attack on Titans video. They had the big aliens. Like, I was like, y'all know y'all wrong for that video edit.
Yeah.
I I don't know because I wasn't there. I could
Yeah.
only imagine. I have had a few extraterrestrial experiences myself in my personal life. I used to live
I
in
did too.
Virginia,
Yeah. I
and,
talked about
and
that yesterday. I talked about that on the video I just did not too long ago.
yeah, when you drive between the back roads of Virginia, Quantico and all that down there, and Maryland, those back roads between Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia, it get weird back there.
Yeah.
There ain't no radio signal. First the
Man,
radio go
I
out,
had
and
the
then
same
it
experience
go
too.
from there.
I had the
Yeah, I
same
get that
experience. We
experience
was
all the
driving on the
time.
road. We was driving on the road, like, doing some I want to say like we was like doing like how nurses is when you're going to do like blood draws on certain like facilities and stuff, going to pick up different blood work from a certain person at those facilities. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
the travel is like, man, when I tell you it could be like 35 minutes, you know what I'm saying? 35-minute drive or 40-minute drive here and there. And those back roads, I mean, it don't have no lights on it. Then I seen one where it just blew and just shot up and like turned colors, fire in the left. You know what I mean?
mhm,
But I did have my own experience as my personal experience, like, what I'm saying, as far as like 10, from the age of 10 all the way up to 17 as well. You know what I'm saying? But it was dealing with a transformation era that I had to learn something, because now I know, because it's in my video with the past life reading I had. And also, what I'm saying, my thoughts on the Miami thing, they said some kids was playing with some kind of like instrument that opened up a portal.
mm.
It opened up a portal that caused to cause something to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Leave
So
it
I'm
to
gonna
the
let you go ahead and
virgins.
let me go ahead.
Hey, that's another Virgo diversion, John. Leave it to the virgins to open up a damn portal, huh? More Virgos.
Go
Okay,
ahead, sis.
okay.
Go ahead,
I
Goddess.
love
I'm gonna go ahead
that.
and answer this real quick.
It's gonna be the babies. The babies is the ones, and this is who we doing it for real, for real. The babies are the reason why we doing everything we do. We planting the seeds. Wanna know why? Because a lot of seeds that we planted, they're going towards mothers and fathers. Um, like these. Somebody had posted earlier today, and I couldn't agree more. The system is about to go after these 14 to 18-year-olds. We got to watch our high schoolers. I know at this space and time we like to say, oh, they getting big, let them go. And this is the time where, you ain't got to hold them too tight, but we have to guide them. All the chart reading and the stars and the YouTubes and everything that we do, we got to gear that towards this age group. We got to bring it down towards the teenagers because these are the ones that's going to take the baton or whatever. So we have to make space to speak to them, speak, through them, within them, over them, under them, protect them, really, get these corner stores going for them to have a leg to stand on, whether they in our bloodline or in our neighborhood or whether you start an after school program or you have a homeschool program or a mentorship program, a community service program, whatever you need to do to redirect these children off of these social media platforms because that's who these people is really gunning for these next couple of years. They're going when you think about it, every 7 years is a new chakra. So from 0 to 7, our kids was in the preschool, elementary school era. They got our kids with the early stuff with all that weird shit they had on YouTube with the adults playing with toys and shit. Then from 7 to 14, they in their sacral chakra era. This is where they find joy at. What do they like? What don't they like? Again, we done gave that power up to the school system to tell our children what they like and don't like by them learning what they can and can't get away with. You know what I'm saying? That's when our kids learn how to be sneaky and shit like that. They always say, oh, school teaches school social skills. No, it teaches social indoctrination. I can't stand that rhetoric about social skills in school. Oh my God.
It
That's
teach you
what
how to
I'm
work.
battling now with the person I'm supposed
It's
to
just
be
preparing you to
co-parenting.
go to work.
He swear up and down school brings social skills. I don't understand
Yeah.
how. And then from 14 to 21, now our child is in the solar plexus year. This is the year where they go to enforce the things that we had allowed to go on while in their root chakra stage, which we was dealing with trauma. So during our so we had to wait till after our Saturn return to deal with childhood trauma and shit. We had to start back down at the root chakra and start over. But now because we catching these kids early on, and a lot of us had starseed babies and our starseed babies. Some of our kids ain't never been in school before. Some of our kids ain't never have a vaccine. Some of our kids never ate meat. Some of it, like we having kids that's having this reality. That's a reality we've never had before. You ain't really going to totally be able to relate to that child for real, the way you think you are. Because what's in their foundation, you had to heal in your foundation from some nut shit. They've never had that. That is so empowering. So when we look at these 14 to 18-year-olds these next couple of years, we got to remember that some of them still have a little bit of what we had in their root chakra. So there might be some resistance. You know what I'm saying? They spent their root chakra and their sacral chakra during that COVID period where things
Hmm.
got a little fuzzy. Even the school was kind of pushing them off or whatever. So they had like 3, 4 years of fuzziness. So we gotta grab them. We gotta grab them.
Hmm.
Because they're going to spend the rest of their years enforcing a bunch of stuff that don't belong to them. Because right after the solar plexus chakra, right after what is it, 21 to 28, they going into the heart chakra with it. All that shit is coming into their vortex. Now they're going to live whatever reality that they created those first 3 years. And do we not, from 21 to 28, receive all the stuff that we did during those younger years? Like, damn, I wish I ain't never play around in high school like that. Damn, I wish I went to college. Damn, I wish I went. We always doing them. Damn, damn, damn. Yeah, that's what it's like to finally live through the heart chakra, which is wealth, business, love, and family. Now you see how much you was playing in them early years. We don't want that for our 14 and 18-year-olds. We have to get them now in their solar plexus. So when they do come to that heart chakra realization, they're good. They're centered. So they can keep moving up in their stages of development as whole beings because they going to have kids. that's not going to have no type of experience of what we're having. We're going to be foreign entities to them. The same way we look at these black and white photos saying, man, it could never be me. They're going to be saying the same thing about us. It could never be me. I wish I working for them debt notes and doing all this, that, and then we're going to be foreign. So that, I think that's something to look forward to on some selfless shit. Um, all right, I was done. Y'all be careful with them income tax because that's how they getting people now. They done raised the child tax credit because people started learning about claiming their identities. And
Mm-hmm.
with them raising the child tax credit, what's gonna happen is, a lot of people is hungry for food, hungry for their money or whatever. This is where greed comes in. Now you got to make a choice. Is you gonna let them take jurisdiction over you again for them little crumbs that they trying to give you, or you gonna stand on your shit and watch their bubble pop the way it should? Because this is a game. Nobody really went shopping
That
during
one,
Christmas
yeah,
and
it's falling. It's
Thanksgiving
falling
like that.
slow. It's falling. You know,
Yeah, it's falling.
pretty soon they it's gonna get to the point where you know when they fall out of money, when that money runs out, they have nothing else to attach to no more. It's like that foundation is broken. You can't even use it no more. Ain't no coming back from that. Cause
It they
once the build,
scrambling at this point. They
that's
scrambling.
it. That's it. It's over with.
hmm
You know,
They
and,
still
and,
need
and
y'all
they playing the
bonds.
monopoly. They trying to still play monopoly, but
Yes.
it's not gonna work no more. You
How
know what
you
I'm saying?
playing Monopoly? You done ran out of money. Ain't you supposed to? Don't you lose? Once you lose money, you're not allowed to be on the
It's
board no
fiat
more.
now. You know, they
Yeah,
giving out
they
fiat. It's fiat.
they over here cheating the bank and shit. Get these niggas off the board.
Get it, get they they need to get off the land. Get
For
it, get
real.
their ass off the land.
Off the
Shit.
whole firmament. They don't belong here.
Yeah,
Exile. That's what we used
they
to
got a
do.
notice already. You know what I'm saying? Rod Hayes already put a notice on them already. So it's
Oh, I
you know,
love Rod Hayes. I live
yeah,
I live to listen to Rod Hayes. I didn't know
yeah.
it till the first time I listened to it, like, oh, I lived for this.
Yeah, I love Rod Hayes and Young Elder Man. Not only even that, it's other people that actually putting in work too. But
hmm
strongly, you know what I'm saying? Rod Hayes been pulling through. He's been knocking heads. You know
Respect.
what I'm saying? Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Respect.
I mean, I'm man, it's a true. I mean, it's a blessing to even know him right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the videos I did with him, man, it's crazy. I mean, like, he real informational. You can't run nothing on him. They ain't calling Chief Pontiac from there. Yeah, definitely, man. Shoot, whenever we get a chance again, we'll do this again.
Absolutely. I'm
For
here
real.
for it. It's
And
always a pleasure.
it's always like plenty of stuff to what I'm saying, to even talk about. You know what I'm saying? So much going on. It's like, man, it's like a new information just come up every day. You know
It
what I'm
does.
saying? Like somebody leaking out some information, some weather situation going on around the world. Then you know what I'm saying? You got the celebrity, the frequency, the solar activity. Man, it just
hmm
the list is so piled up, man.
Oh
2024 is the
yeah.
kickoff, man. This
The
is like the
solar
Super
activity
Bowl.
is exciting.
This the Super Bowl. This is
I'm
spiritual
having a
Super
good
Bowl.
time though. I want y'all to have a good time. I know that they about to fuck with y'all brains because we still a little indoctrinated on our root chakra. But Pluto said, fuck that indoctrination on your root chakra. Pluto about to fuck your whole world up. Everything you thought you needed to survive, you about to be shown right now. You don't need none of that shit.
Hmm.
Pluto's probably going to take all of it away from you.
Yeah,
And you got to learn how to walk without it because this is what you said you wanted.
yeah. It's getting close to that time. I'm finna
And your
save up and buy
abundance
me
is
a couple
coming. And your
generators.
abundance don't look like nothing you thought it was going to look like because Pluto
Like,
about to fuck it up.
I know. I said, man, let me go ahead and save up and buy me some solar generators.
For real. It's time. It's time for all of that. It's time to get with your community. So when you
Yeah.
look outside, you feel safe and protected. Not, "Ooh, where my neighbor? Oh, the neighbor's snick." You shouldn't have to feel that way. It's time for the communities to come together, the
Yeah.
tribes to come together and start building together. If you're over there building a fortress by yourself, it's not going to work in Pluto. Pluto is collective.
Mhm.
You can't be a leader to none. It doesn't
Yo,
work that way.
for
It's
real.
about occultism. The key word in there is cult. That's a culture. That requires a group of people.
A cult. It sounds like game members doing occultism.
Yeah. And
If I
that's the
got my
theme
cult
this
squad,
year. Yep, Coat Squad gang gang. We out here. We gotta
Yeah,
come together
that's how
and support.
man, look, back in the day, that's how these covenants. You know what I'm saying? There's another word
Mm-hmm.
for a coat is covenant.
Yep.
Yeah, they from my house of covenant. You know what I'm saying? We rock like that.
Yep. And that's
Yeah,
exactly how
that's
we
how the
COVID.
that's how the warlocks and witches used to do. Then you know what I'm saying? You notice like in the LBG um community. I hate talking about them, but you know what I'm saying? They want to, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um they take on a persona like that last name.
Mm.
It's almost like they whole clique got that same name. The house of, you know what I'm saying, the house of glamour. The
And
house
that's
of
how united we should
yeah,
be.
they have the same last name. You know that? That's how
Yeah.
the covenant worked the same way.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. That's
covenant,
what
like if
that's
you
how we
look at
did the
the
L and the
spiritual,
Bays and the Ali's and the temple. Same shit.
yeah, Doctor such and such of a sunrise Mador or something like that,
And I'm
and all
glad you
got the
peep
same
game
last.
because then you're gonna learn that these names that we claim are white last names are actually our stolen coven names.
Mm,
They took our coven names, flipped them shits, and made them the plantation names. That's the catch 22 for real, for real.
damn. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Crazy. This is all magic. It's all magic. If y'all ain't never seen Once Upon a Time before, I highly suggest y'all spend the year 8 watching Once Upon a Time. It's already all done and aired. It was on ABC, so it's probably like on Hulu or some shit now, Netflix or something. You can definitely find
Mm-hmm.
it on the website. But that show right there, that's going to let you know everything you need to know. It was about this little boy. He had a book, and the book was telling everybody how they really was fairy tale people, and that the lady who just so happened to be the mayor put a spell over everybody, made everybody forget who they really was and their powers and shit. So you got all these little things happening. Everybody got their little side story. Some people remember, some don't. It's very interesting. I highly suggest y'all check that joint out. That's a very good show.
Make sure you stay spiritually strapped like all times. You know what I'm saying? Do your cleansing, your bath. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Get your spiritual bath, your cleansing, your house, and because these energies follow you. Then you
Right.
got people that send energy your way offline, so you gotta repel that thing back. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's why I say stay spiritually strapped because this time they trying to do everything that like kind of like cripple people's lives and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Why I'm so thinking suicide? Why I'm this and that? Because they sending stuff your way.
Yes,
This
you
is
got to
why
prepare to return all things to sender.
this is why everything's so shaky in your house. This is why you know what I'm saying, why you're arguing so much. You feel me? And if you're working
Hmm.
at a hospital, man, you have to seriously like cleanse yourself because you constantly have spirits that follow you. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? That's for
Keep y'all
everybody,
heads
man.
covered too. Wear head wraps and stuff like that when you out and
Yeah,
about. Keep your crown
putting in
chakra
this hair
covered
and your
because just
weave.
how it gives out, it also
Yeah,
receives.
putting in that fake weave and stuff would actually do it to you too. I
Yes,
seen something about that too, about how spirits attach themselves to hair. So you got to be careful with it. You got
they
to cleanse the
actually
hair too.
have. I'm
Cleanse
grateful
the
for
hair.
my goddesses because exactly there are some goddesses out here that are starting to make wigs and they're blessing them and stuff like that. So we do have
Yeah,
some equal
you
opposite
got to
energy
cleanse it. Yep, you
making
got to cleanse
certain
it. Yeah,
solutions to that. So y'all be more careful about who y'all buying these products from because there are
yep.
people out there that are intentionally making these products for healing and protection, whereas there's other people that's doing it for possession. And there's a good movie on that one too. It's called Bad Hair. It's supposed to be a funny horror joint, but it's real shit
Yeah, I
about how
saw
there's
that.
energy
Yeah,
in the hair. That's some real shit.
yeah, man. Definitely, goddess, man. Thank you for real. I mean, you know how we do it. We know how we roll for real.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Much love to you on everything you do. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
Okay.
I'm
Yo,
excited for the year 8. We gonna be abundant, cuz.
yeah. Peace to everybody from Tropical Country for the Fold, Sunshine Monet, and your boy Z Energy, the God.
Peace.
Yo, peace.